Commander Gregor, born on the planet Camino, and he rose the ranks to clone commando and led his own squad until he went to the Battle of Scarish, which was one of the most devastating losses for the Clone Wars, and there he was missing in action and landed on the planet Avafar, where he lost his memory and was taken in by a chef named Borges, and he was his dishwasher until Commander Gaskins and his D Squad were on a Clone Wars-like mission and then were stranded on the planet Avafar, and they found Commander Gregor, and they tried their best to get his memories back and even tried to find his equipment until they went to a brawl with Borges, and then Gregor managed to get his armor back after realizing that he was a slave on this planet. And with the help, the D Squad and Gregor managed to go back to the shuttle, which was captured by the Separatists, and it was their only means of transportation home. In the last attempt, Commander Gregor sacrificed himself to give the D Squad enough time to get out of Avafar, and they assumed Gregor died, a hero. But it turns out he survived the explosion, and instead, a few years later, after the rise of the Empire was chasing down Commander Gregor, and they captured him, and it affected his. He also has an affected mental state from the explosion and his amnesia, which strained his mental health a bit. But the cybernetic clones, the Bad Batch with Omega, managed to rescue Gregor, and they transported him to somewhere where clones can hide, deserted clones. And I guess Commander Gregor somehow managed to get his inhibitor chip removed from Order 66, which he disobeyed. We can assume it was because the explosions, it probably damaged something in his memory. So, years later, he would retire with Captain Rex and Commander Wolf, and they would be on a ATST, whatever you want to call it, and they would hunt food and have an okay lifestyle. But it wasn't until Ahsoka sent Kanan, Ezra, and the Ghost Crew to recruit Rex for their cause, but he wasn't really interested until Commander Gregor was interested in having Zeb be their bait for their next food for a worm. But it wasn't until Commander Wolf was too worried because there were Jedi on their little home. He ended up calling the Empire, and then they have a big brawl where they ended up in a sandstorm, and Kanan, Ezra, and the Ghost Crew managed to get out of the planet they were on, but Kanan had a change of heart and decided to save the clones after they almost died from Agent Callus and the Empire's AT-AT walkers. And Gregor and Wolf stayed behind while Rex joined the rebellion, and Commander Gregor and Wolf ended up using the AT-AT walkers as their new home, which was nice. But it wasn't until Commander Gregor decided to finally join Rex and the Ghost Crew to liberate Lothal, and they did their best, but it wasn't until Gregor was shot, and he had his last moment with Rex, where he said it was an honor to fight with someone he chose to believe in. And that is the story of Commander Gregor. I feel Commander Gregor is probably one of the most interesting clones. Like, I love his armor, like I may have said, but like those markings, and he has an interesting story, a clone trying to figure himself out, and I like his silly side. So, I don't know if there's any action figures of Gregor. There probably are, but I would love to see Commander Gregor more. I wish he was in more of Rebels, but I guess they just wanted to have Rex. But Rex is awesome. He's easily the best clone. But Commander Gregor, he's definitely on the top list for clones. But I'd love to do a top 10 clones maybe one day. So it's nice to do a Star Wars video again. So anyway, thanks for watching, and may the Force be with you always.